Hey guys, sorry I'm a little late, but I hope you haven't been there. Right?
Hey,
Have you been there a while?
I think I'm the only one.
Well, Pete's trying to get on too. I got your pictures. Thanks for all the pictures. That helps.
Yeah, I went to Carnegie Pictures this time.
Yeah. And then Big Bill, yeah, Bill died, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did, but today's his birthday. It
Yeah.
came up on Facebook. Dottie was looking at Facebook today.
Uh-huh.
Said, "Look, it's Big Bill's birthday."
And then let me see. Somebody sent me a thing about Joel's birthday.
Huh.
Okay. Maybe it's from John McLennan. Hi, Tom. Maybe you want to tell the troops on Friday that Joel's birthday is coming up. He'll be 84 on October 20th.
Wow.
And then he gave me
What
the.
do you say, Peter?
Hey, Barry.
Hey,
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, Pete?
Doing great. How's everyone?
Good.
Good, Pete.
So you guys are
Barry, how's
okay.
the
The
weather
hurricane
there?
moved, didn't it?
Say what now, Tom?
Are you getting a lot of rain? The hurricane moved, didn't it?
It's getting ready to start raining. It hadn't rained yet. And we have a little breezes, I would say 30-mile-an-hour gusts.
Okay.
Not too bad yet.
Okay.
But we dodged the bullet again. It was
Yep.
coming right for us again, and then it went west.
Well, that's good, except it's so hard for you guys to get prepared all the time.
I know. I mean, we need to go through it again. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's up, Barry?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Peter. What's up?
Yeah. How you doing, Rick? You all right?
Yeah, good. Y'all hadn't had anything, no bad rain or wind yet or anything?
No, it's clouding up now, and we got some breezes.
Yeah, well, it's real windy here and just clouded up. It rained some this morning and all. I was in New Orleans this morning. I had to take my son to Turo for a checkup with his doctor and everything. So, babe,
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, I think we got lucky again. Hey,
yeah,
Billy.
yeah.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, I heard you talking about the storm. Bonnie and I just got back
Hey,
from.
Tom. Hey, Bill.
We took a ride out to Lake Pontchartrain. The waves are crashing over the seawall already.
They showed that.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably by 6 or 7 tonight, it'll be a completely covering Lakeshore Drive. So,
Right.
Those
it was
poor
nice.
people in Lake Charles. I mean, this is just unreal. This is the second time they just
Yeah.
feel so sorry for them. Glad it's not coming here, but
A lot of them are living in their cars and stuff still. They don't. Yeah, they didn't have any place to move back to.
they showed you saw on the news all this debris all over the place there.
Right,
It's a mess.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in hotels from Lake Charles, I think.
Yeah, they are.
So I sent Tom a picture of Big Bill because today is Big Bill's birthday.
Oh,
I don't know how old he would have been. I guess I could look it up.
71, I believe. I'm not
But
positive.
anyway, story about Big Bill. He was a waiter up in New York Club before he came down to New Orleans. When he came down, that's the picture I sent. Yeah, of Big Bill. But when he came down, he came up to me and Mike, or Mike and I, said he wanted to sing a few numbers. So we said okay, and we didn't know it at the time, but he did all of Joe Terra's numbers. My Mother's Eyes and The Boulevard of Broken Dreams and 42nd Street. You remember those? Those were all Joe Terra songs from the New York Club.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought them down, But anyway, Mike used to introduce him as Fat Bill. Let's have a big cheer for Fat Bill. Big cheer for Fat Bill, ladies and gentlemen. And one time he came, so I did the same thing. I introduced him as Fat Bill. And one time he came up to me and said, I really don't like that name. I said, you don't? He says, I said, but you are Fat Bill. He said, I don't like that name. I said, how about Big Bill? He said, I like that a lot. And he always gave me credit with giving him his name.
I still call him
He
Fat Bill.
was Big Bill when he came down to the Mustache on on Bourbon Street. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at first we were calling him Fat Bill, huh, Peter? At
Yes.
least the guys in the band called him Fat Bill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he had a great voice actually. He could really
He
sing.
did. He did. Yeah.
I love his
One time he got up there to sing Boulevard of Broken Dreams. He used to count 4 with his feet stomping on the floor. Y'all remember that? How he used to stomp on the floor?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He'd get ready to stomp the 4 beats to get the band started, and Les Muscat, he started stomping. Les Muscat grabbed the skimmer like he's wearing there and threw it under his feet, and he stomped this skimmer. The styrofoam flew all over the place. You had to be there, guys.
Yeah.
Looked like Godzilla stomping out of the Japanese village, you know.
And what brought him to Southeast Asia, Thailand, or wherever he was?
Yeah, his wife came up to his waist. I mean, just barely.
Her name was Flower.
Flower. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
his
English.
wife was from Thailand.
Yeah.
I
He
probably
liked it over there. I mean, he stayed the rest of his days there. Who would have
Maybe
done
20
that?
over 25
I mean,
years
he-
he's been
he
over
was-
there.
He was a New York Greenwich Village guy, if you ever wanted to see one, and did a good transition to being a French Quarter guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after the mustache burned down, I moved to Texas, and when I'd come in on the weekends, whenever I'd come in, I'd go down to the Quarter, and Bill was at Molly's usually, and he'd always treat me to a beer. I'd go and say hi, you know, and we'd and have a beer and talk and stuff, you know. So he was very nice.
He was a character.
Yep.
I used to stay in touch with him. We'd communicate probably about once a month while he was living over in Thailand. You know, not by phone, by text, by email or text.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he would
But
send his
he
plate.
liked that. He liked that bohemian lifestyle. That was his lifestyle. The bohemian, you know. I mean, there's something to be said for that kind of free spirit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In Thailand, didn't he own a bar or work in a bar?
I think he was
Well,
like-
Didn't he have some kind of
Restaurant.
meat company, meat and pickles?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the last thing I remember he was doing tours too, or something. He was, I guess, taking people from the United States or something on tours with Thailand. Yeah, but I remember lots of pictures of him and Flower. I mean, she was.
Yeah, she's a little bitty thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were
Bill's
together for
quite
many
the
years before they finally
entrepreneur.
married. You know, and
Yeah,
I mean,
All
he
right,
was
please.
huge and she was tiny.
yeah.
How does that work out? I don't even want to imagine that.
No, nothing more to be said, Barry.
yeah.
Dottie's sitting next to me shaking her head right now.
We hear you, Dottie. We just can't see you.
That's okay.
Yeah, where you at, Dottie? There she
There
is.
she is.
Hey,
Dottie.
Dottie.
Hey, Dottie.
And Bonnie just got on the phone with her friend Connie. They might not be here, so.
And David Kay said he wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got company or something.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
What?
David Kay.
He's got
He
what?
got company.
Oh, company. Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that for COVID. I'm glad I clarified.
Oh.
Okay,
What's
does
that?
the screen have a picture up now? Because I lost everything.
Yes.
We got a picture of your whole desktop, but the picture.
All right.
Yeah.
I did something wrong.
No.
This is all fly by the fence all the time.
Am I showing up as Tom Wolf still? I thought I tried to cancel that.
No,
I'm
you're
still-
Bill
Oh,
Blank.
you're
I
Billy.
think I finally managed to get Tom Wolf. Get out of being Tom.
Last week.
And look, you guys, you need to send Tom some photos. I can't be the only one sending photos. Not that I am, but I get tired of looking at myself.
Oh, well, I
We
sent,
do too, Barry.
well, I
We
sent
do.
Tom one of those old pictures too
Maybe
from
Tom
when he
can
played with
get
when he sang with y'all at Frizzle.
Oh,
I don't know. We've been doing this for a while now. We had some moments of silence where without the picture, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Ah,
Go on.
Now, there's Murata. He still hadn't come back, even though I talked to him and he was hospitalized for a month, but he still hadn't come back to this
Maybe he
meeting.
got sick of it.
Is he okay now or?
I don't know. I sent him an email asking him how he was doing.
Did you get a response?
No, I did not.
I would think a phone call.
I'm gonna try to call him.
Yeah, well, maybe I could find some video of the priest in Pearl River. Yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah, that was.
Can you believe that?
you didn't hear that story?
Oh my
It's
God.
unbelievable.
I read it, and even the reading of it is disgusting. I can imagine my mind.
I'm sorry, that's my phone. Somebody's calling me here.
I'm available.
Story about the priest.
Maybe it's Murata.
I'm available.
Just bad things on the altar. You can imagine.
Yeah,
He had
he
two women up there. One of them was a porn star, and they had,
Hired women.
He
one of
hired
them was a
a
porn star.
and a dominatrix to have sex with him on the altar of the church and videotaped it with a camera. And one of the parishioners.
Did you do that? Did you do that, Bill, for them, or?
Well, he asked me, but I said I was busy that night. But,
Some are sicker than others.
It was really pretty.
I mean,
Oh, it's
the thing-
horrible.
The thing is,
Unbelievable.
the church has a big glass door and they had the lights on. One of the parishioners said, "Well, I went by to see why the lights were on at the church so late." He looks through the glass door, and the priest is having not just sex on the altar, but like I'm making a movie about it.
Where was this at?
In Pearl
Pearl
River.
River,
Yeah,
Pearl River?
yeah,
St. Peter and Paul Church.
yeah.
That's over by you, Rick. Huh?
It's close. Yeah, about
Oh.
5 miles maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't get an invitation. huh?
No, they didn't invite me.
Yeah.
They knew better.
He would have had, if he would have done it in the confessional, he could have just had one-stop shop in there,
Yeah.
Places and give his confession.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He's in big trouble.
He could have done it and then had his own confession and forgave himself all at the same time.
Yeah, but this probably isn't the first time he pulled something like that.
I can't imagine that it would be. In fact, he took the place as chaplain at one of the places. He just took the place of the other guy, Watney, who was caught having sex with young boys.
Yeah, the high school in Slidell, is it? Or
I took his place. At least he moved up to dominatrixes. He wasn't in the young boys.
Billy, your sense of humor is.
he can punish himself. He can punish himself while he's doing
That's
this.
it. Maybe that was his punishment.
I was thinking back in the days of the mustache, and Peter, you might remember this, but all of you will. We had employee prices.
Oh yeah.
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 Employee prices, and for a mixed drink, I think it was 45 or 50 cents up in there for a mixed drink. I remember distinctly having a conversation with Maynard, and Peter, you might have been in on it, and Mike said, well, that was too high. 50 cents for a highball for a band, that was too high. We were drinking too many of them. So Maynard, so we made a deal with Roger. We said, look, we want to buy a bottle from you at night. What price will you give us? And that price was considerably lower than paying 50 cents a drink. So we started making our own drinks out of the bottle. Then we decided that was too expensive. And Maynard found a place around the block that would sell us about a cheap ass whiskey. And we got that for like $4 a bottle. Then we were happy.
That place on Conti, right off.
Yeah, you remember it, Peter?
I don't remember that, but I remember Maynard always saying as soon as we took a break, he says, "Come on, Pete, let's go get ourselves a taste."
Yeah, a little taste.
We go out and
Hey,
buy a
Jeff.
jug.
Okay, we got Jeff and we got Bill coming, Jones.
Jeff.
Hey, Herb.
Herb,
Hey,
Yep.
Phil.
here comes Joe.
Wow, he heard
Everybody.
How you doing? What's up?
Joni.
Joni.
I think I got it. There we go.
Hey.
Joan?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, hello.
Oh, Drew is here now. Oh,
Have you
Yeah,
heard
how are you
anything about
feeling?
the storm and what's going on?
No, what's going on?
I just went out and took a look at Lake Pontchartrain. It's getting kind of choppy out there, but we're going to get maybe 40-mile-an-hour winds here later tonight, about 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Right.
We're far enough from the center to where it's not really going to bother us in New Orleans or Mandeville.
Yeah.
We
There were
might get
scary
big
pictures
power
the other day.
outages.
You remember the town, they were destroyed about 2 weeks ago and
Yeah, around
just
Lake Charles.
debris all over the
Lake
place.
Charles. Yeah, Lake
Yeah.
Charles, it's the same
Gosh.
place, same place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we dodged the bullet up here
We've
in
been
New
so
Orleans.
lucky this year here in Florida.
Well,
Yeah.
it ain't over yet.
Phew.
Jeff, how are you feeling?
I heard there's 2 more systems.
How am I feeling?
Hey, Mr. Roselle.
Terrific.
Hi, how you doing? Mr.
Terrific.
Doing okay.
I spoke to my cardiologist today,
Oh,
and he told me I have to pay him up front. Not going to bill me. I got to pay up front. No, he told me, he said, I got your blood work. What's happening when you take your nitro? What's happening? I said, nitro? I don't take nitro. He said, it shows you have a prescription. So I went in the medicine cabinet and I had an unopened prescription of nitro that expired in 2018.
oh my word.
Oh,
Right. So he said, when you get that indigestion,
There he is.
try a nitro.
Just don't drop it.
5 minutes later, try another nitro. And if the pain doesn't go, try a third nitro. Don't wait for the fourth.
Yeah, I take a half a pill a
Do
day.
you?
Nitro, really?
The pills are so damn small. I
You
need my
take that,
jewelers. What are they, 10 milligrams? I don't know, they're
microgram.
awfully small.
It's
Mike,
tiny, and then you cut it in half.
Look,
Cut
there's
it in
Mike
half.
Gentry and Chris.
Yep.
Speaking of small pills,
Let's-
my doctor
Hey, Michael.
prescribed
Hey, Michael.
sumastratin.
I'm going to
Mike
show you
Gentry.
something. I'm going to show you something. Now that we're all getting on,
With my
see this?
Chris.
When my time
When
comes.
my time comes.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Hey,
It's
oh.
called When My Time
Hi.
Goes.
Yes, it's written by Diane Rehm.
Oh, look at that picture. That's
Look at
terrific.
that
Hey,
picture.
Mike.
Oh, God. I
Hey,
didn't
has
get I
anybody
could,
talked to Murata lately?
no,
No.
He was very sick. He was in the hospital for a month.
you're
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, I called him, but that was about 3 weeks ago, and he said he was going to come back to Zoom, and he never has.
And I text him all the time with the Zoom, but I also sent him a separate email and he never answered.
Yeah, but what happened? His computer got screwed up, so he's not getting messages. But he did get a phone call, so I'll try
Okay.
calling him after this.
I might send it
Oh.
to his daughter because she
What?
wrote about.
What's the matter?
He got in a car wreck 5 blocks
sh-
from his house. As he was walking back to his house from his car 5 blocks, he took a fall and broke his shoulder, his elbow, and his ribs. And then when he got to the hospital, they found out that he had brain damage.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he stayed in the hospital for a month, and they sent him home. And that's the last I talked to him.
Jeez.
And he got
Jesus.
Wow.
I
He did
don't
come
know.
on, but we couldn't see him. Remember when he was on the whole
Yeah.
time, but we couldn't see him?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
because his computer has changed. and
how many of
everything.
us here plan not to die?
Sign
Okay,
me
no,
up.
I just want to know.
So
You
far,
were
so
asking us this last week. You
We're having a
remember
rerun?
that?
This is it. I'm on tape. This is it. I'm fooling it. I'm actually in the hospital. Look, look, Herb, you're looking at me like you don't know.
that's Askins. Hey, Jeff,
Yeah,
I went to Las Vegas to see my cardiologist.
yeah.
That's a joke.
Oh, my
Holy
goodness.
Who's that?
Uh,
That's Nabu the killer whale. God, hi, Chris. Look at that.
The
I
killer
was-
whale. You show your doctor that, he'll give you prescribe 3 more nitros.
Listen, I was 60 pounds heavier there.
Wow.
60.
What'd you
That's a
do?
lot.
Stop drinking?
No, I stopped eating. I got the greatest thing for a diet. I super glued my lips together.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Now, look at that. Take me off. Jesus. Maybe if I hold it back.
That's some scary
Oh,
shit.
yeah. That's just as scary.
Get it. Cardiologist, Las Vegas. Get it?
Cardiologist.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, wait. You're a
Hey, Jeff.
survivor.
I went to Egypt to see a chiropractor.
And
Oh.
Oh,
no, don't.
Don't encourage me.
Don't encourage
Don't encourage him. Really?
But that reminds me of Joe Sarah. Remember Joe?
That's very good, Herb.
Yeah.
You remember
Try
Joe
it out
Sarah?
Try
I
it
got
out
another
of
one.
town first.
I went
Try
to
it
the
out
Czech.
of town first.
I went to the Czech Republic to see a proctologist.
Cardiologist. Look,
You know, I can't even joke about a proctologist. I mean, they're my
Joe Sarah, he used to say, let's hear for the Empire State Building. Let's hear for Yankee Stadium. Then he put his hand on his hip and say, how about the Staten Island Ferry? Y'all remember that?
Look at that crew.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
head crew.
That's Tim Shea.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim. Yeah.
Judge Shea.
Bruce O'Neill.
He's a retired judge now.
Is he?
He's a retired judge.
Can you all
God.
believe the guy in the brown shirt, Tim Shea, after he left banjo playing, he became a federal judge.
That's about right. That's about right.
And he's
Working
now
in your father's mustache is a good prep
Yep.
for the judiciary.
Yeah, he was sending criminals to prison.
And look at Mike, you don't look a day over 7 there.
Jesus. You know,
Was it
last
true
week I
that-
realized
Was it true that there was a U.S. senator who was a trombone player down in New Orleans?
no, we killed him.
No, that's someone. I mean, the well-known, like a famous guy, and he played some trombone down in New Orleans.
Are you a senator?
At the
You're not
mustache.
talking about Frank Menard, are you?
Southern senator.
Foreigner.
Well, I'm trying
The
to.
only one I know who was a jurist who worked at the mustache was Barry Rank.
Yeah.
Oh, Barry. Yeah.
Oh, Barry.
He was from Philadelphia, I think, wasn't he?
Wow.
New York.
What?
mostly, and Somers Point, Point Pleasant, that area.
He
Never-
played in Boston for a while.
Yes, I remember Boston. Yeah.
Probably when he was in school or something.
Hello, Kim.
Yeah.
I give him-
Hey, Kim.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Gim.
Hello,
I finally
hello.
got someone. I
Put
finally
your
got
audio
someone who's
on.
older than me. I love it.
Hey, since a lot of people join right now, we were celebrating Big Bill's birthday.
Oh, my word.
The hell is that?
Fred Hendricks, and is that Fred?
You know,
Yeah, that's Fred.
Hendricks, Kent, Jesse Denton on trombone, and yours truly in the back on a banjo. I see that.
Wow.
Was that at the Jazz Fest?
No, that was at the 1987 reunion.
Oh, okay.
Big
Good
Bill.
Lord.
Yeah, look, two of those guys is gone. Jeez. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back to that again?
Oh no, I don't want to start that again. Oh Lord.
And John McLennan sent me a message about it's Joel's 84th birthday on October 20th.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
God,
He's an old fart.
October 20?
1936.
So when I
Born
send
in 1936.
this week, when I send you the video, I'll send you his address and email and all that stuff.
gonna be 84.
Wow.
Son of a bitch, I never thought any of us would make it. Don't worry, Herb. Don't worry. I'm 81, 80. Hello.
Measure up
Make
to
it worse than it is.
No, I'm 80. I don't know how I made it. Neither does my doctor. They're all surprised.
Well, as long as we wake up on the right side of the grass in the morning, we're okay.
That's right.
Hey,
Yeah.
as long as I can still taste an Oreo cookie, I'm happy.
That's LaRue, yeah.
Oh, LaRue, yeah.
LaRue. Now, LaRue, his story was he was the assistant manager at the New Orleans club. When he left the club, he moved to Alabama, bought into Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, opened up a few of those restaurants that he owned and became very wealthy.
Yeah.
God.
I've been working for the crew of Orpheus since they started. And there was a
Wait.
couple of years that LaRue got a whole float in the Orpheus parade just for his KFC people. They called themselves
Really?
the crew of LaRue. And they would ride in the Orpheus parade, the whole float just of KFC guys.
Up till he died. He recently died.
Yeah.
I heard.
But as closing years last year, he'd come in about once every 6 weeks to Fritzl's on Bourbon Street, and he'd want to sing Beale Street Blues. So he'd come up, we'd let him sing Beale Street Blues, and the band loved him. Not because he could sing so good, because he always put a C note in the tip jar.
Oh, no.
Oh, that'll do it.
Hey, the trombone player, I was thinking of Lamar Alexander.
He's a senator from
But he's
Tennessee.
a senator, right?
Yeah, he's a senator, and he was a trombone player.
I didn't know he
No.
played trombone.
No,
Really?
that's what I heard.
Can't believe it.
Hang on.
That's what I heard.
Hey, I believe you.
Speaking
I
of
believe
tips,
you.
Lamar Alexander. Yeah.
Lamar Alexander apparently played at your father's mustache at some point.
He
oh,
did.
wow.
I knew he was there, but I thought he was a waiter.
tips,
He could have been a waiter, I guess. Maybe he was a waiter. There's not much difference between trombone player and a waiter.
True. And speaking of tips, though, I wanted to say
Way more skills.
the
Hi,
most
Manu.
unusual tip that we ever got in the band.
I know.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hello,
Manu.
hello, hello.
Hey, Banu.
I can only stay for a short time today because, believe it or not, I've got another Zoom meeting that was supposed to start at 4 o'clock my time too. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? If we got all the time during the week and everybody picks the same time on Friday. Huh?
Well, you're zooming around, boy.
Yeah.
Are you safe and sound, Banu?
Yeah, the trees are dancing just a little bit. So far, nothing. Barry, you got anything out there?
Same thing.
Yeah, nothing yet.
A little humid.
Oh God, I just opened up my front door. I was like, oh, just walk back inside, shut the door. Oh, it's just,
Yeah, very
Yes.
humid.
oh, it's sticky and icky.
It doesn't feel like fall, that's for sure, down here.
It does.
Yeah, sticky and icky. They used to be waiters, I think, at the Denver Mustache.
That used to be all the waiters at the mustache.
Holy cow.
Oh,
Oh,
One of the million things she gave me.
So,
Oh, there it is again.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
That's something you see every day, thank God.
God, that's just
That's too
wonderful.
cute. Oh, Lord.
that's a nice age, girl.
I used to say about H, it was the hard one, but
Oh,
but
me
now I
not.
think it just looks like the dirty one.
Oh,
I had trouble with the E.
That was my signature too. The hard one.
Yeah. He was the hard one, right? He was the hard one.
Yes,
He's
it
hard,
could always
yeah.
fall over.
Yeah.
We used to do E the hard way. First you
Yeah.
do
Oh,
it the
yeah,
easy
then it
way.
went behind.
Remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, oh, the hard way, yeah.
The hard way.
Oh, my
Guys,
God. That's great.
unbelievable. We actually did that in public. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's before there were blue laws.
Wait, and there were people sitting there paying.
Yeah,
They were paying.
But they were
God.
drinking heavily too.
Unbelievable.
oh,
What happened to Gim? Gim's gone?
I lost his picture.
Where is
When
Kim?
we were speaking about tips, and wanted to mention the most unusual tip we ever got. There was a group of French sailors in the band or in the crowd, and the guy came up to me and he said, I can't remember the tune he wanted us to play, but he gave us 4 dimes to tip us to play.
Oh. Big spender.
Play what, Peter?
I don't know what the tune was, but it was 4 dimes, 10 cents each for each kind of band.
That's more than we got in New York.
No shit.
Uh,
Did anybody at any of the clubs ever have
There was no tip
Run
jar
come up
as far as I
and say, play Melancholy Baby?
of course.
Never. I never. Really?
yeah, I did. But it was more of a joke later on than, they just thought that was, that had become a funny joke to say to a band.
Right.
Yeah.
They never really wanted to hear it.
Ronnie Bill talked about an experience he had at West, and in the club, this guy had a 6-shooter, a shotgun or something, and he said, "Play Ragtime Cowboy Joe and play it now."
Ronnie Bill used to love playing I Don't Want to Walk Without You, Baby. Remember that tune? It wasn't usual for the club, but Ronnie liked to play that one, as I recall.
And what was the tune?
It was I Don't Want to Walk Without You.
Well, it had a comeback in the 70s. Some up and coming pop star did it. I think it was Manilow or somebody like that.
Oh, really?
Did it.
But I mean, Ronnie played that before that became a hit. That was like that was just a song that Ronnie looked forward to playing every evening.
Wait, before it became a what? A hit?
Yeah. Again.
A hit.
It's a pretty song.
Yeah, I used to like Slow Boat to China. That was I enjoyed playing that song.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
Boat to China. I think we've all lost it. Slow boat.
Come on.
It'll make enough. We live long enough, it'll come back around for a 3rd time.
Oh, I hope not.
Just waiting for your ass, Jeff. It's just waiting for your ass.
One of those pictures that I
you know
sent.
what I'm thinking of? What the hell? Ronnie Bill liked another. Oh, no. The girl from Ipanema.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I
a
don't
hit.
remember the mustache in New Orleans
If
ever.
there's
played that
anything you don't want to hear on a banjo, it's Girl from Ipanema, in my opinion.
It was, and it was worse. It was worse when you heard it, because he played the notes. I mean, it was da 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 da. Da. Oh God, a great line,
Yeah.
great melody line. What a killer!
Yeah.
Ronnie Bill is probably one of the better musicians I ever met, and he could put a crowd into a coma in 5 minutes. We'd have him laughing and screaming, and he'd call some tune, and God. I'm trying to.
How did you get people to sing along with the girl from Ipanema? That's what I want to know. The way
You
they're
know?
trying to get the people, sing along, come on.
Clap
I don't know the
along.
words either. Let's go.
Yeah, clap along, la la la. They couldn't. They were asleep.
Sell him a hat, Bill.
Yeah, that's right. I sell him a hat.
Give him a
They were,
Skinner.
oh, my
I had an
God.
experience playing in the wedding band once, and they did "Girl from Ipanema," which was kind of standard for that, but I'd never played it before. And they turned over and passed the middle section to me, which goes all over the place. I don't
Oh, yeah, it's just-
"Girl from Ipanema," and if you don't know it, let me tell you, you don't know it. And those notes are still dripping from some, some wall in some catering house somewhere in New Jersey. I slaughtered the crap out of that.
There were tunes. There were tunes
Okay.
that some people really liked to play that were genuinely awful. Really awful. I mean, Ronnie Bill, I think maybe Ronnie Beisel also liked. No, I don't even.
Singer.
Ira's joining us.
Hey, guys.
Oh,
Hey.
Well, who started
It was-
up a Salvation Army song?
We did that in
What?
Boston, I know.
Yeah.
Maybe Timmy
Oh, this-
Dooley on Washboard may have started that.
oh God, I sang. You mean Salvation Army?
Yeah.
Put a
yeah.
nickel on the drum. Save
Save
another.
them.
Either drunken bum.
Yeah, I did that when
Hallelujah.
I did that when I was in Cooper Union
Okay.
and playing at night. Okay. Hey, and then Joe did it, and he did it much better than I.
That was Tara's big number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he preach to the audience?
Well, yeah.
Oh, he knew all
Oh God,
all the
Yeah,
they
wild
were lying in the street with peanuts in his ears.
Oh, right.
It was wonderful. I think he knew the whole thing. God, where did we find these songs?
Yeah, Tara had
You really have to work.
Tara had a soliloquy for St. James Infirmary. And I've got it written down somewhere. Somebody sent it to you. Remember that, Herb?
Yeah, that was a poem that he had actually written during the Beatnik era.
A lot of bad cats down there, and then he'd go on and on, and then sing St. James Infirmary. It was great.
There's a lot of bad jazz being blown around.
And jazz being blown around.
God,
They just
where
shot.
where did we find all these coma?
Y'all remember the St. James?
songs?
She was so bare, we'd yell out, "She was naked."
Stuff your fingers in the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, do you remember mention my name in Sheboygan?
I do.
oh, that's the time I did that one at the
I know a girl there you
salesman.
adore.
The salesman.
She was Miss Sheboygan back in 1904.
That's it.
No, this
Ding, ding,
was
ding, ding,
the
ding. We have a winner.
That's, and I think it may have been Gail Dorflinger, but it was someone who had a mild brain problem, and she picked out
That
the
doesn't
one
narrow it
guy
down,
in the
Jeff.
audience. She picked out one guy in the audience who was just shit-faced. I mean, he was hardly sitting up. And she went up, that's the one where she said, "And where do you come from?" And the guy looks and says, "Bum fart." He turns around to the band. Calm as a king, "Bum fart." And the band started playing, "Mention my name in Bum fart." And that's as far as we got. We disintegrated. I
Wow.
couldn't believe it. Gail Dorflinger. I can't remember what I had for breakfast. How did I remember her name?
I had a situation once. This is Ray Garter in North Wildwood. But I used to do it where we would be singing a song like a sing along, and I would stop the audience from singing, and I would say, "Wait a minute, we have a problem here." And I would point out a guy who looked like a really nice guy, and the audience would say he wasn't singing. Now we have to do it all over again. And that was kind of, and the whole crowd would sing and everything like that.
That's cute.
Pointed to a guy and I said, "He's not singing." And the guy stood up and he had a cotton thing and he had a laryngectomy.
Oh, my God.
Really?
I had nowhere to go.
That's how you just say, "Let's try it in the key."
You
You
must,
can
you must
sing.
have crawled under the bandstand, Herb.
Yeah, we had something like that happen at the Mustache in New Orleans once. The waiters would always try to get their sections going the loudest. You know, we'd have competitions, and I had everybody in my section going, and Bruce Melanson was next to me, and there was one guy in his section that wasn't clapping, so he goes over to the guy, clap, and he had one of those hooks on one of his hands, you know.
Oh,
So
jeez.
Bruce just didn't miss a beat. He said, "Well, beat him on the table."
You know, there were clubs. I think we all played a lot of the clubs at one time or another. We were sent out because we did something wrong.
Nice hand.
I was going to be punished.
Watching that.
Go help this kid, Billy, learn how to play lead. And that was Point Misery. That was Point Pleasant. And they sent me down there for 3 days.
Is that Billy Herbert? Billy who?
No, Billy Higby.
Higby.
Billy
Billy
Higby.
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 May he
He
rest in
was a-
peace.
Jeff, take your
Sweetest guy.
finger off of the camera. Like,
Your
you
fingers, your
it
fingers
looks
are
very
beautiful.
obscene.
He was the sweetest guy in the world.
Jeff, your finger is
And-
beautiful, but get it out
He
of
could,
the camera.
he couldn't play very well.
Move your
Said me.
finger.
Jeff, you're giving us a hand job here.
Hey, it
Move
was
your
easy.
finger.
Jeff,
Hand
move
is
your,
in the way.
move your hand. Move your hand.
You want-
Yeah, not that way, out of the camera.
No, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we
No.
could do palmistry and read look at his lifeline.
My
Jeff,
life,
you taught-
my lifeline.
You
Yeah.
taught Billy Higby how to play?
No, what I did was Higby was scared to death because he had been a waiter,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
and he picked up his banjo and he played left-handed.
Yeah.
Right.
He played backwards, and I said, Billy, don't worry what you sound like, because if they're not singing louder than you're playing, you're dead. Just boom chicka, and pray that the trombone player hits the right note. He was scared to death. And he said, oh, and tonight's the fireman night. I went, what the hell is a fireman night? Every Thursday, the volunteer fire department from Point Pleasant. Oh, Jesus. You needed raw meat and a long stick. They were really rough. And I said, then just tell them jokes, Billy. Tell them a joke. Insult them. Do something. And he was trying so hard to play melody on a tenor upside down.
Oh, jeez.
Just awful.
He wound up
He
to
was
be
a
my
hell of a
favorite
nice
band-
guy.
He was my favorite banjo player in New York.
You gave him good, you did well. You taught him well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was good. Barry, you worked with him, right?
No, what I
No.
told him to take all your time learning how to call tunes. You don't even have to play them. The trombone player will. You just call the right tunes and laugh. Laugh. I
was
stopped
good.
the band. I'd stop a band 2 times, 3 times during a night. And I'd turn to the crowd and said, okay, I apologize. We'll start it again. And this time we'll do it right. I mean, and if I was having fun and the band was having fun, then the crowd enjoyed it.
Right.
That's true.
You know who taught me that? Ronnie Bill, who was the best, unbelievable. I'll tell you one story about
Wait.
Sure.
I gotta go. So I've got that other Zoom I gotta go to. So
Okay.
I love y'all.
Bye-bye.
I'll see
Love
you
you.
next Friday.
Hello,
Love you.
Love you
Bye-bye.
guys. See you next
See you
Friday.
next week.
Next week.
Yes.
That's right.
I remember Bill. Oh God. Ronnie was unbelievable. He called he's playing lead, and he calls. Oh, what the hell was it? All I remember is go A flat, C minor, C. Oh, King Chanticleer.
Oh,
King
geez.
Chanticleer. The worst song
Oh.
ever written. It had every key. Did anyone ever play King Chanticleer?
Yes.
Heard it.
Yeah, that's a great tune.
100 times, yeah. It's
Awful,
quite a tune.
awful. I just turned to someone and said, "What key are you in?" So I don't know. I said, "Let's keep playing." And, oh, no, you were okay as long as you didn't have Jay Brackett on trombone.
Wow.
You called King Chanticleer. Excuse me, women. Excuse me, young ladies. Here you go. You call that tune old slang, and you're all alone. He wouldn't play it. He did
I have
that
a
to me.
story. Oh, sorry. I have a story about Joe Terra in Miami.
Yeah.
We had a revolving bandstand there, and there was a wonderful musician, Don Goldie. He had a quartet, and the band played Frivolous, which was called the Bartender's Room, so they used that Frivolous Sal as the tune, and they did it in 4, and everybody was playing it in B flat. Oh, and one day the Mustache Guys decided they were going to come around in the key of B. Okay, so they and the trumpet player Don Goldie, he was the music director for the hotel. So anyway, so they come around, we're half a step far, and all of a sudden saw the door slam to the backstage. Don Goldie comes running out, and who does he run up to? Joe Terra. And he says to Joe, he says, "What the hell key was that?" And Joe said, "What's a key?" Don Goldie just threw his hands up and walked away.
Look, I have a quick story of who you were talking about, Jeff, a few minutes ago, Ronnie and Herb.
Yeah.
Herb on the screen. So we had 2 bands every night in Wildwood. Ronnie's up there. Ronnie was great, and he still is. And he played the banjo picker's ball, and the people liked it, especially musicians. Musicians really liked it because it was amazing what he did. The people bought it. Herb gets up there and starts playing the Addams Family and gets people punking the elastic on their hats. And the whole crowd, "You guys are great. You guys are awesome." I learned a lesson that night. It ain't.
No, that's the way to do it.
Our big hit was Elvira.
You remember that, Herb?
Oh, we used to throw everything out there in the audience we could think of. Oh, I'll tell you a great story about Wildwood. Do you remember a guy named Alan Carey?
Yeah.
Alan Carey.
And Fred Pfeffer? Well, the Garter was doing great back in that time. You know, there were lines out the door and everything. So Fred Pfeffer and Alan Carey come in, and apparently there was this bar in West Wildwood that was going to try to copy it. So they bring in Alan Carey and Fred Pfeffer. So they're there for our first set, you know, and they say, "Hi guys, yeah, we're going to be playing down the street from you," and everything. We just wanted to get an idea of some things you're doing, if you don't mind. And we said, "Oh, no, I don't mind." And so they get the pencil and pad out. And so John McLaren instigated it. He's the one who started it. He says, "Just play the craziest things you can think of." So we're doing Banjo Picker's Ball into April in Paris. And I mean, just to be ridiculous.
That's a lovely melody.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Unfortunately, we were working 7 nights a week, so we wanted to get over there and see just what they were playing. You know, seeing how it worked.
I'd forgotten about Banjo Picker's Ball. That's a good little tune.
Yeah. Oh, did anyone have the courage, Mike, you might, I don't know, to play King Chanticleer?
Mike plays it.
Who?
I played it lots of times, but never at the Mustache.
Too many keys. It's got too many.
That's when Mike plays it.
Charlie Borneman liked playing that song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was gonna mention that Charlie loved to play King Chanticleer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, Jesus. King Chanticleer. Oh, I'll tell you a story about keys. I'll tell you a story about keys. Joe came into the club New York club one night, and I was playing side. And they came up, the damn manager, I can't remember his name, said, Joel's in the office and he's suiting up, he's going to play. And everyone went, oh. I said, what's the matter? He owns a goddamn club. Let him play. Joel came in and he started playing. And oh, God. He calls a tune. I wasn't sure about it. Because at that time I had a big list of tunes I knew. Maybe 12. The rest of the time, I just used my knuckle on the string to go thunk. And Joel called some tune that was easy. It was Kim, I think it was yours. Somebody stole my gal.
Probably.
I turned to Joel. I said, what key are you in? And Joel, calm as a cucumber, B flat. I said, okay. I knew where B flat was. I knew where it was. And I started playing it. The whole band was in C.
Oh,
except
God.
me. Except me. And I kept playing it the whole song through. I knew I was in the wrong key. I said, okay, give me another key, Joel. He didn't do it again. And I was playing a Vega that sounded like a cannon. It was, and I kept playing it, and I was hysterical laughing. And Joel couldn't get himself together. I love Joel. And somebody stole my gal in B flat is as bad as someone stole my gal in C.
He's in an E flat, yeah.
Oh, A flat. That was King Chanticleer. At the release someplace, it goes into A flat. And I turned to Ronnie Bill and said, I don't have a short enough neck. That's it. My banjo stops here. Ronnie Bill played Stars and Stripes forever.
Oh, yeah.
Every note, even the little piccolo stuff.
Yeah.
And the son of a bitch puts down his plectrum banjo, takes my tenor banjo, and plays the same thing. I wanted to break his thumbs. I never saw anything like it. You can't do that. He said, oh, yes, I can.
We weren't crazy about when Joel came up to play because he did like a 2-hour first set.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He never stopped.
He would.
Exhausted.
Oh.
I remember Ronnie Beisel doing a whole area. That's in Wildwood. That's why. That's Ed McKee on tuba, Dick Brady on trombone, Joe, Tom Geekus on drums. Tom was a very heavy guy. We called him Tom the Hut.
Is he still alive, Herb?
No, Tom passed away. Ronnie, yeah, that was the band that we played opposite. Yeah.
He was a good drummer, I thought.
Les Muscat used to, we'd do 4-leaf clover and we'd be in the key of C, and when we went to the key of E flat, Les always turned and said 3-leaf clover for the 3 flats.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Les had a wonderful sense of humor. I remember one time he turned to me and he said, the best things in life are in C. And I have the pickup note in the melody, da, da, so I'm starting it. So I'm in C. Meantime, Les has told the rest of the band that they're in B flat. So I got the big C, and the rest of the band all came in B flat. Les was always setting people up with things like that. Wonderful.
You know, I love that. That's what made working at the Stash so much fun.
That's right.
That's what made it fun, and it made it fun for the audience. How do you think I lived through late compounds?
Oh, yeah.
I lived through that. And that crowd was ready to mount the bandstand. They didn't know what the hell was going on. Neither did the band. I never had a band more than 2 weeks. I got every musician that John could send me. Art Hovey played a black Helicon.
He still does.
God almighty, was that an ugly instrument.
It still is.
He can't play that thing. That's, oh God. He got that right after World War One. And he was all of 90 pounds, so I hated him. Hated anyone who was thin. God, Art Hovey and his wife played for a very short time washboard. The whole band, with the exception of me, I think, could have been at an Undertaker's convention. They were so straight. I tried everything. Nothing. And when the band was like that, I had short sets because I needed pills. No, I needed,
At the Garter, we had a very taciturn banjo player, can I say? The guy, a young kid and great player, wonderful player, but just shy, painfully within himself. And Les Muscat used to call him the world's only Nazi banjo player.
this is, oh God.
Well,
when I think of the really good musicians who came and played and looked at us like we were fresh out of an institution. He said, let's tune up. I said, we're close enough.
Well, I remember we used to do Mammy pretty regularly. And and the part where it goes, I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles, The word smiles ends on a C. Well, they had a trombone player who used to start on an E and go da 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 da, and he would end on a C sharp. Well, it was on a C. Les Muscat used to play those two notes together every time on the band show when the guy did that.
Son of a bitch. To me, that's close enough.
Yeah. Well,
D sharp, they're right next door.
And that trombone player never got it. He never picked up that was the story. That's kind of like the who was that? The Sylvester of the Pussycat. Sylvester was actually patterned after a studio vice president who never caught on that Sylvester was him.
God.
Story.
Well, Joel just sent an email, and I guess so. He must be doing well. He said, ladies and gentlemen, still dreaming of our reunion as the coronavirus grinds us down. Hopefully we'll get a window in 2021. And then he has Gim to send on the YouTube video.
Oh.
So,
yes.
So while we're doing this.
I'm going to say goodbye for today. My desk is overflowing here.
Okay, Joan.
But it's always a pleasure to see you all.
A pleasure, Johnny.
We'll see you next week.
$1 million smile.
Bye, Joan.
That's it, from your mouth to God's ear.
What he said about the reunion?
Well, he said that, I guess what he basically means
Oh,
is,
yes, right, of course.
he says, still dreaming of our reunion as the coronavirus grinds us down. Hopefully we'll get a window in 21.
He just wants to drop his pants.
Sure, go ahead.
God.
World famous Carnegie appearance.
You were the one
Jim is supposed to send
who
you.
mentioned me mooning the crowd, and my wife was in the room. And it's one of the things I never bragged about. Mooning the crowd. Who would do a thing like that?
That's correct.
We did.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people.
Most people would have.
Oh, talking about good musicians. John, Murata, get better and get in so I can give you some.
Full kitchen, yes. So we have a small stove in our room, but the kitchen downstairs they've got two very large freezers. We can, put our stuff in there. We have a microwave, 2 microwave ovens. We have a regular oven. Oh, a little bit of everything. Right. Yeah, it's a good kitchen. It's a good one.
God. Lake compounds. Jesus.
By the way,
I'm breaking
if you
into
ever
a
wanna
hot
see-
sweat.
if you ever want to see Joel,
Oh, I have a
not that you'd want
home
to,
health aide that comes
but
every day.
on YouTube, just type in Joel Schiavone, Italy, and
Oh,
I saw that.
It's around
of the
800,
Villanesta,
between 800,
Joel is Joel's like Bill.
$850 in that range. It's just Social Security alone. That's my only source of income.
Does Bill know that he's broadcasting it?
Yeah, he just,
Unbelievable. Oh, I remember a musician, a grown-up musician. It was up in Lake Compounds, and band members would show up. They'd show up, and this kid comes out. He may have been 14, 15. He wasn't shaving yet. And I looked and I said, that's the smallest, and thought I was joking. I said, that's the smallest trombone case I ever saw. It was Warren Vichet.
Oh,
The
Warren.
brother, he took out a cornet, and I freaked out. I didn't know him. He didn't know us. He was just sent up. I said, do you know any of these old songs? He said, just call them. So I did. Somebody Stole My Gal, which I figured everybody in all of the clubs knew was the first song. He hit a note. 3 birds died and fell down. It was a note I never heard. He was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant cornet player. Unfortunately, he got friendly later on with Jay Brackett and developed the brown cork fever. But, did anyone ever play with Vichet?
Yeah.
Jesus, he was good.
Still is. He still is. He's very active, and he's been a good friend for years. And I actually had him put together a band to play at my son's wedding. And, he's really
God.
He's probably one of the best cornetists playing that style of jazz, the old style plus whatever.
No, I mean, when you see him or talk to him, tell him he sent me to music school because he hit notes. And the tone was beautiful. And you should have seen those birds fall out of the sky.
Yeah. His tone is marvelous. That's why he plays cornet as opposed to trumpet, because the trumpet he regards as a little shrill, and he much prefers the cornet tone.
God, absolutely brilliant.
His
We also had
his brother.
Another cornet player down there, Eddie
That's your brother
Pulser.
Alan, right?
You ever work with Eddie Pulser?
Alan is a
I work with
clarinet
him a lot.
player.
With Ed Polser, who asked that question?
Yeah, Eddie Pulser. Did anybody ever play
Yeah, I
with him?
worked with him a lot, a whole lot.
I've worked with Eddie extensively. We were in the same band for 4 years with Red Balaban.
I worked.
Red Balaban. Oh my
Cats.
God.
He played in the New York club on Sundays.
Balaban and Cats.
Alabama and Cats.
God.
Water.
Yeah.
He knew some good tunes. When he played the Dixieland Band Sunday afternoon before the Mustache came on, he played some great tunes.
That's Balaban and Cat you're talking about, huh?
Yeah. Red
I think he
Balaban. And
played with Stan Levine.
I don't know, but one day,
Stan Levine
the
had the
band, he was
prior
up
to the
there.
Red Balaban.
One Sunday, while I was playing lead at night there, they had the Sunday afternoon jazz concert. I got to sat in with, at the same time, Wild Bill Davidson and Gene Krupa at the same time.
Gene Krupa played on Sundays, yeah.
Wild Bill?
I think you were there.
Yeah, Gene Krupa played on Sundays a lot.
Yeah.
And they also had
Geez,
Stan Levine playing too sometimes. Tall,
Geez,
thin
you're
guy,
older than I
Stan
thought.
Levine.
You're older than I thought, Wild Bill. Jeez.
He was very old.
I played an afternoon with him.
Very young. He was very old at the time.
And Woody Allen came in a couple of times.
I worked with Wild Bill a lot, and he was, in fact, he got me into Locoleto too. That's a funny story by itself.
Right?
But the story that I love is back in I'd say I was living in Jersey, so it had to be after 1969. Anyway, but my wife was pregnant with our son, and we got invited to play a party up in Stamford, Connecticut. A lawn party at the guy's house. I forget the guy's name, but he was a jazz fan, and he hired Bill and me and a bunch of other guys to play. And so we arrive, and Eileen has got, about a 5 months workload in her stomach. And Bill says, "Walk with me around here. Maybe they'll think it's mine."
What?
Bill was quite a character, and he was true to his form, chewing gum and playing out of the side of his mouth. And,
chewing gum and playing.
Yeah, at the same time, that was kind of one of his trademarks. He has quite a reputation for being a kleptomaniac too, if anybody remembers that. He was. But he was a sweet guy. He just had a few character failings, and you have to kind of forgive him for them. It really was.
Oh, how many of us had character failings?
Well, we got to be certain nutcases here to be on the screen here that are a test of that.
No, this is a straight crew.
Oh, absolutely.
He had a banjo player in New York. I don't know if you guys remember him, Bill Dern.
Bill Dern?
Yeah, Bill Dern played there.
Billy Dern was a great guy. He
played there.
He's gone now, but not too long. But
geez, I love that, Chris. Everyone's gone.
Yeah, we better have a reunion soon.
That's it. That's like my doctor saying, pay first.
Hey, by the way, yesterday a job came in. I'm planning my first job in 3 months next week, a wedding. How about that?
Yeah.
Wedding?
Things are looking up.
That's a good question. Anybody else working? I got one job on Thanksgiving, and that's the first one since 2 months now.
Well, I've had 2 since COVID started. This will be the 3rd one next week.
Wow.
I've had one, and the next one is Thanksgiving.
Well,
is there anyone here who wants to keep playing?
Absolutely.
I do.
Jesus. I pick up the banjo and I sound almost as good as I did 50 years ago, which is scary as shit. I mean,
Bob Price had a good idea for where to have the reunion. Ryman Theater in Nashville.
Love it.
Spot.
That'd be great.
Nashville would be a good location for it.
Love it. I love the idea.
It would be easier for some people from Denver to get out there.
Yeah, I think that's better than going to Connecticut.
See, East Coast is kind of tough for those people, but I'll go wherever it's at. I mean, I think all of us will,
Yeah.
As long as you have oxygen and a nurse with paddles, Herb and I will go anywhere. We'll go anywhere. If I have to hit a B flat, that's it. Get the paddles.
You reminded me of with your story about somebody stole my gal. I ran into Pete Levin a couple of years ago. And, you know, Pete's very much into music these days. He records a lot. He travels with his brother, and he played in the Gil Evans band and traveled, you know, he's played with Miles Davis. And, you know, he's
No, those are musicians.
He's a real musician. He's totally into it. And he looked at me, he saw me, because I went to see him at when he was doing the show. I looked up and he said, "Somebody stole my gal, 2 C's and an E flat."
That's it?
He remembered all of it. Yeah, he remembered all of it.
Gim, that to you is like Joe Terra and Salvation Army.
Salvation
When
Army.
you walk into the club, everybody knows 2 C's and an E flat.
Well, wait a minute. What was the second song? Gim's second song.
Oh, yeah.
Might not have been second, but it was along the line. It was I'm Always Chasing Rainbows.
That was in there.
That was in there. That was one of like your first 5, wasn't it?
That was one of them.
Who's that on trombone?
I'm always chasing rainbows. Son of a bitch. What key was that in?
G.
I knew I made a mistake.
Who's that on trombone?
Don't know.
Not Dennis Drury, is it?
No.
No.
Everyone is so young there. Oh. God, look at that crew. There's Bill.
I do have a picture of Dennis Drury. I'll send it to Tom when I find it again.
You think that's Dennis Drury?
I thought it was.
No, it's not Dennis. I don't know who that is.
Dennis was our washboard player in Philadelphia.
Dennis Drury?
Yeah.
Oh, what a waste of talent. What a
I
waste
thought
of
he played
talent.
the trombone.
What a
Dennis,
waste of talent. He was great.
What-
He's a fine musician.
Didn't have it down just then. I played, and then there were 2 guys from Curtis Institute who played some nights. And Dennis was actually 4th down the line, so he never played trombone. So he was our washboard player. And funny as hell, he was a great guy.
Jonathan Dornblum used to play tuba.
Jonathan Dornblum was the tuba player. And I mean, he was a character.
And
we've
Sonny
gone
was
through.
on weekends and play Friday and Saturday.
What's that?
Sonny Helmer used to come in and play Fridays and Saturdays.
Where
and
was
then
this?
in Philly.
In Philly? You played in Philly? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it was my first club.
Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania, right?
No, I was in New York, but they sent me to Philly because they were loaded up in New York. And then I came back at the end of the summer. Then I was side banjo and side bartender.
Yeah, and then that's when we picked up.
Oh, that's an easy move. That's
Side
an easy
bartender in New
move.
York?
Yeah, Bob McKenzie and George French came in and hired us out of a little bar in Wildwood, and we became the band, the Philadelphia band in the fall.
Yeah.
We must have.
Really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
When did the Philadelphia club close?
What?
It
Soon as
didn't
Herb
clo-
there, I
It
think.
didn't close soon enough. Murata sent me down there one weekend. That son of a bitch sent me everywhere. Whenever a musician would get ill or Joel fired somebody, I'd get a call. Jeff, we got a gig for you. You got to cover this one night, no problem. Where? Philadelphia. Not a chance. Not a chance. I played Philadelphia, Boston. God, Boston, Gim, was my first time playing lead. And by that time, I knew 3 keys, 4 keys, C, F, G, and B flat. I was good. F, I wasn't so happy with. He sent me, Joel sent me up there, and he didn't tell me why. He said, I want you to play lead in Boston. And I didn't know that he or someone fired Carl Lunsford.
Wow.
Because he was in the cork. he was smashed. And he did it a couple of times and he got fired. And Joel didn't tell anyone. No one told anyone anything. And I remember I took the New York, New Haven, and Bumfart train up there. down there. To Philadelphia. It was downstairs. Wasn't the club downstairs?
Boston.
Only was on the
Boston was
ground
nice,
level,
man.
but it had a nice balcony. It was a beautiful.
How long was that club open?
A week and a half.
Just a couple of years. Yeah, they didn't pay off the police. And what happened is every Friday and Saturday night, it was in a little alley called Ranstead Street, a small little alley. And every Friday and Saturday, the police would park a car like right in front of the door of the Mustache with the red lights flashing. And of course, someone would walk down the alley and take a look down there and see the red lights flashing, and they wouldn't go in. They'd turn around and go somewhere else. So just that he wouldn't pay off the cops, and he paid for it. So, true story.
I don't know. All I know is that I liked it when I was sent to a club that didn't know me. And they didn't know what to expect. And when I got to Boston, the band told me that they knew every song that Lunsford called, what set. You go third set, second song. And they knew what the song was. They were a little uptight. And they got me. And the first song was frightening. First of all, I don't play introductions. That's wasted. It's too much energy. I said, I love it. 2 seasons in E flat, Somebody Stole My Gal. And I go, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And they look at me like, I'm a railroad conductor. What the hell is this guy doing? And that's how I started everything. I counted it off. Like, oh God, they were so uptight. And then by the end of the first set, we were all hysterical. God, it was close. No, I'm thinking of another. It was close to St. Patrick's Day. And St. Patrick's Day in the Boston Club was dangerous. And I started doing the Irish medley, and it went over so well that I did it a second time.
Sure.
No, right. I said, hey, that was really good. Did you enjoy that? The crowd laughed. I said, we'll do it again for you. The band looks at me like, what
I'm
the
heading
hell
out.
do we have?
I'm heading out. Dinner calls. I'm headed to the Blue Ridge Mountains to see the leaves change next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
I'm going to go take a pill.
I gotta leave. I'm cooking
Love
dinner
you
tonight.
guys.
Yeah, I'm leaving too.
And
Next week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
have a good October.
Good luck with the hurricane, Barry, huh?
Yeah, Barry and Billy, good
I don't
luck.
think it's coming near Barry.
Thank you, Tom. I'll talk to you later.
Is it Barry?
Hey, what now?
Isn't the hurricane west of you?
Yes. It's west.
Really?
Pretty far west.
We're,
Yeah.
Got lucky again, did you, huh?
It's blowing a little bit out there, but not much.
Good.
They think we'll get about 40-mile-an-hour winds, and that's about it.
Really? Wow. Good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Very good.
Too bad.
That's not bad.
See you
Okay, guys,
next
I'll
week.
see you all
See you
next
next week.
week.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night.
Good to see y'all.